You can see on my arm, I literally have chills. My hairs are standing on end. Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be doing another one of my coin roll hunts, and it's $50 in pennies like normal, but what we're looking for is cool wheat pennies, Indian head cents, potentially big airs, though I don't look too actively for them, and then we could also maybe get some more spots in our wheat pennies folder. So hoping to make some progress on that today, but the way I do it is I'll show you every time I find a roll with something in it that's special, I'll take a look and show it off to you guys. So let's get into the hunt. And in terms of those enders, there's nothing in this one. If we look over here, we see that there's one right there on its back. And then this coin, I saw it, it looked kind of old, and I ended up peeling back that wrapper. It was 1905 something, so it could be 1959, but we'll see in the hunt. I'll be back the first time I open something that has some significance. So we're 4 rolls in, and we just got our first result in terms of finding something inside of a roll, and that's a 1944 wheat penny. So for those of you who don't know, it was from 1909 to 1958 were the wheat pennies, but good to get something, get the ball rolling a little bit with this hunt. So some good news, we got back-to-back rolls with wheat pennies in them. Another date that isn't particularly exciting, a 1958 from the Denver Mint, hence the D mint mark, but still great. That's 2 pennies in 5 rolls, and that's a pretty good pace to be on. And the luck is continuing. The very next roll, we got 2 wheat pennies. One is a Philadelphia issue 1958 wheat penny, so that's great. A little bit of a discoloration there on the back, and then our first live reveal of the day. Probably not going to be anything crazy judging by the back, and it's not in 1958D, but still really fun to get that many wheat pennies early on in a hunt. And it took a couple more rolls this time, about 3 in between our last finds, but we did manage to get another 1946, not another one, but another wheat penny in the form of a 1946. Relatively regular date, but still fun to get. And now I'm pretty excited. 1 roll later, and we have a 1972 Canadian, but the exciting thing is that probably our best find so far, no matter what the date is, a better condition wheat cent, probably going to be, I'm going to predict 57D. And I was off by 1, 1956D, and I may have even been incorrect because I think that the corrosive look to the obverse of the coin is going to make it not our best find, but it's still cool to have one with a bit of luster remaining on it. We got another monster roll. Again, normally I wouldn't show these unless I found something with them, and I did find something with them. So we had 2 Canadian cents in this one, as well as 2 reveals. So hoping one of them, this one looks a little, or one of them looked a little older at least. Yeah, 1918. Wow, I did not think that that was going to be anywhere remotely close to that old, and it looks in pretty decent condition, plus a 1944. Let me take a closer look, though, at this 1918. Really solid condition. Really happy about that. I was not predicting that it would be anywhere close to that old. A little bit of problem reverse, but still pretty cool. And I'm going to check if it's a folder filler. It very well could be, and I'll be back with you on the next find. Another quick reveal before we do that, I did check. We had already found in 1918, but I'm still very happy with that find that we made on the last segment. But we got a 1938. Sweet. That could actually be a folder filler, and it's deceptively in good condition. Did not expect that either. So we've gotten fooled twice. Normally it's like a reveal that I can get really excited about because it's super worn, but those 2 have caught me by surprise. So it's definitely been an extended amount of time until I found my next find, but it's a 1958D, so something that I'm used to seeing in today's hunt, but it's good to be back on track. At this point, we have 13 rolls left in the first box, so we're 37 out of 100 done. About 4 rolls later, we have a pretty good-looking reveal. At least it seems to be at least XF, some solid detail in the coin. Going to be a 1949 one, so not a special date, but I think unique to today's hunt as well. And we'll just keep moving through these boxes. And check this out. It was lurking. It was the last one that I checked in this roll, and it's a 1920, so definitely an older coin, 99 years as of the release, and probably some viewers will see it when it's a 100-year-old coin, but the reverse is pretty slick. That's what I was talking about, and this is the type of reverse that would have me expecting an older coin, but that's a great find and addition to this hunt. Now that makes 3 pre-1940 coins, which is definitely higher than normal. Now with 7 rolls left, we have another find. It's going to be a 1953, or I should say 6 rolls, I just looked over again, but 1953 wheat penny, another date where there's not too much significance, but great to find. And as always, I'll be updating you guys at the halfway point just of how many total finds we found in our first box. A few rolls passed, now 2 left, but we have another find, a 1956 wheat penny. Just good to keep on adding to the totals in this first box. And now there's probably a 50% chance that we find something, 50% that we don't. Oh my gosh, check it out. So there's that last roll. And I could be totally mistaken at what I think this is. You can see on my arm, I literally have chills. My hairs are standing on end. I think that I could have found a Civil War token, Army and Navy. Oh my gosh. 1863. No way. That is unbelievable. I'm speechless. I've never found an Indian head cent, never found anything crazy. This is probably the best find that I've ever made coin roll hunting. And it's like uncirculated too. I don't know if this was from the Great American Coin Hunt. I think I got these pennies that I'm hunting though before that. I've been holding on to them for so long. That is unbelievable. I wish I could have got that live. I saw it and I was like, oh, that's like a weird foreign coin. And then I only saw the A and I was like, maybe it's like a like one of the Indian like Anna coins, which would have been really cool. But I think it's literally, just check out that. That is a gorgeous coin. Unbelievable find. I'm so thankful. And that, sorry for going on. I'm going to get to the next part of the video, but that's pretty much, that's sweet. So here we are at the halfway point, and I mentioned there was a 50-50 shot. I think it was for finding a wheat penny, and we did not find a wheat penny. Instead, we found something marginally better, but we'll have more information about that at the end of the hunt. In other news, we have 11 Canadians and 14 wheat pennies. So we'll see what the rest of the hunt provides us in the second box. Now, 3 rolls into that second box, we have this coin. Going to be a 1942 regular. Of note, I just thought of this. There was that one ender that I had seen was 1950 something, and that was the 9. So we did not quite get a find there. And then 1964, we had a older Canadian. Though it took another 9 rolls before we found something, it is proving to be one of the most exciting and fun hunts of pennies I've ever done. Right here is a really old reverse, and I have my folder open so I can check immediately to let you know if it's a new find. And it says 1920, so I can guarantee, I think that earlier we found one from 1920. That's not going to be anything special, but it's still really cool. And it's always fun to flip over a coin that looks like it has definitely seen better days. And another 2 rolls of pennies went by, and the third going to offer us 2 reveals here. Not super old looking, but some earlier finds fooled us. And this time they were... you could judge the book by its cover. It's a 1940 and 1953, some of the post-40, 40s and 50s dates coins. And the hunt, as far as I can tell, is continuing to give. This one looks quite worn as well, so we'll flip it over. 1934, a date that we have, but a date that's also pre-1940. So I believe that if you include the Civil War cent, which I definitely would include, makes 6 pre-1940, and we're not even done, which is on its way to set a new record. I'm not sure exactly on that record. I should start keeping like a book of all the specific things, but really, really cool. Another 2 finds for us. The first going to be a 1949, so just great to continue to add to the totals. And then this one, maybe older, we'll see, 1956, so it's not particularly interesting, but another 2 finds is always welcome. Some more quick good news, a not super crazy find, 1946, but that's just another 2 rolls after our last find, so they're really coming in pretty nicely so far. I believe we have 7 in the box, and we're just over halfway. And we're going to mix it up with a quick Canadian reveal because it's something a little bit interesting, a 1964 penny over here, but then we have a George VI. And 1939, awesome. So I don't really recall. I definitely could have found some 30s in the past. About 6 years ago, I found a 1932, which was really cool. But the 1939, I would guess, is the oldest Canadian coin that I found on this channel in a video. So really pretty happy about that as well. Quick update, no reveal, found it with the date facing upwards, but a 1953 penny. A little more separation though between the roll. That took about maybe 5 or 6 more rolls to find. 15 left. And I'm going to try to open this ender up here. Let's see what it is. Maybe we can find a totally live find like that Civil War one, but that's, my guess is that that's unlikely in terms of probability. We'll see what we found on the end first though. 1941, so nothing too interesting or special. I'm just gonna go through these real quick, see if we can get something. Oh, and it does look like something came up right there, so I'll flip it over. 1927, that's really cool, and I have my book open, so I'll just flip over, and I think that that's going to be a folder filler as well. So great way to end the hunt. Double penny roll with one that I can definitely use. So I was inspired to do a little bit of research and find out exactly what we were dealing with here and a little bit of information for you guys generally about Civil War tokens. I'm going to go and make a full video on it, but I do have some info for you guys. So they're made from 1861 to 1864 in the Northeast and Midwest often. This was because during the Civil War, people were taking the coins out of circulation and hoarding them. A cent really meant a lot back then, so they were privately made. It was eventually outlawed in 1864, but there were 3 types. There was, I think it was called store cards, and then sutler tokens and patriotic tokens. The one that we found was a patriotic token. Those were the most common ones, and they would have slogans or something like that that were almost always pro-Union. So they would be for the North in the North and the South battle. So really cool find, and let's go to the wrap-up. And here is that full wrap-up, a total of 50 finds today. In the Canadian section, the 1939 was definitely the highlight. We also had 60, 364s, and a 68 rounding out the earlier finds. There was also this nice, really uncirculated 1973. Not much value, but just kind of a fun find for me. 24 Canadian pennies in total. We had 25 wheat cents, but if we look here, we had 1953, 1956, couple of those, both a 56D, a 58, and then 3 1958Ds. D again is the Denver Mint. 1940 here, 1941, 1942, 244s, 246s, and 249s. And then we had our record either tying or breaking. I feel like I vaguely remember finding 7 pre-40s in the past. We had 6 of those come in as wheat pennies, so 1934, 1938, 1920 times 2, and a 1927. By the way, we had not found other 1927s, a 1918, and my best ever find coin roll hunting in my life, the Army and Navy, and I had just spoken about that. But anyways, I would love to get a better hunt than this. Don't know if I'll be able to provide that, but very fun hunt. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to get in touch with me, do so on my website, treasuretownYT.com, my Instagram, treasuretownYT, or my Facebook, Treasuretown. I've got links in the description, and I'll see you on some of my other videos.